I'm Laura, and I'll be sharing the lesson Creatures in Motion. In this cooperative activity, students participate in 2 active physical simulations that show how difficult it can be to work together in large groups. This lesson is for lower elementary students with strong ties to social studies, science, and language arts. By taking part in this lesson, students will be able to work cooperatively with others to coordinate their movements in order to achieve a goal, explain the benefits and challenges of group cooperation, and to name real-world examples where cooperation is needed to achieve a common goal. Creatures in Motion has 2 parts. For the first part, you need an internet connection and a way to show a video to the class. For the second part, you need some small objects to represent food. The first part of the lesson will challenge your students to walk together like a millipede. Let's take a look. This part's activity starts with a video that shows how a millipede uses its many legs to walk. Show the video to students without naming the creature. Ask students to share observations about the mystery creature with a partner. How is the creature shaped? What was its color? How did it move around? You want to make sure that the students notice that the creature has many legs that coordinate perfectly. They never cross over each other, and they all work together to help the creature move forward. Our students will be imagining that they are the first person to ever discover this creature. Each pair will come up with a name based on how it moves. These could be names like the wavy worm walker or the wiggle stick. If you want, you can then share the real name of the creature with our students, the millipede. Now it's time for students to work together to create a millipede of their own. My friends are going to be helping us demonstrate that today. Have your students form a line. Each person in line should be holding the shoulders of the person in front of them or hanging on to their shirt. At your signal, the creature should begin moving forward. The first student in line will choose a direction and start walking, but not too quickly. If any student loses connection with the student in front of them, the whole group must stop until the segments can be reconnected. It should only take 1 to 3 minutes of walking in tandem for students to see that walking together can be very difficult. Discussion questions for the first part of the activity include: how does moving like our creature compare to moving by yourself? Imagine if the whole school had to walk together like that. What would happen? What are some situations in our classroom or our community where people need to cooperate in order to accomplish a common goal? The second part of this lesson asks students to work together to move food across the room in small teams. This challenge is appropriate for students with different physical abilities. Before class, place objects representing food into piles around the room. Today, I'll be using beanbags. There should be 1 pile for each group of 4 to 5 students, and each pile should contain 3 pieces of food. Mark an X on the floor on the opposite side of the room from each food pile. This will be the group's starting point or their home base. Give each X and each food pile a matching number that corresponds to the group's number so that each group will know where to start and which food pile is theirs. Now, as a class, brainstorm and discuss animals that work together to survive and the specific skills that they use. For example, penguins taking care of baby chicks as a group have to huddle together to conserve warmth. It may help to support this discussion with animal photos and some of your own examples. It's time for students to pretend to be animals working together to survive. For this challenge, there'll be ants living in a colony. Each group is 1 ant colony, and each colony must move 3 pieces of food from the other end of the classroom back to their home. Now, no single ant can carry food across the room all by themselves, and during the activity, everyone can only move about 1 body length in any direction. Ants have different jobs in a colony and move and behave in different ways. Each group will need to plan a different ant movement for every group member, and to strategize how the movements will work together to bring the food home. Some ants might take a big step and then hand the food to the next ant. Some might have wavy arms and pass the food between their legs. Some might have wiggly heads and nudge the food. Some might wheel backwards or forwards or scoot on their bottom. Last but not least, no throwing food. After a few minutes to plan their body movements, that means that each colony will need to form a line from the food pile to their home. and then the food will be passed from ant to ant until it reaches your home base. Each colony should get to work. It'll probably take some trial and error, and things might not be as easy as students expected. Discussion questions for the second part of the activity include: what challenges did you have moving food back to your nest? What was one thing you changed during the activity to be more successful? Your ant colony had 4 or 5 ants in it. Do you think it would be easier or harder to have all the students in one class in a single colony? Why or why not? I hope you enjoyed Creatures in Motion. For more lessons like this one, go to populationeducation.org.